Hey, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to do a video review for the MasterBuilt Gravity Series 800. This is actually a griddle, grill, and smoker all in one. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the installation. I'm going to just kind of give you an idea of how the grill works. And I'll really talk you through everything that I've done in terms of my own research and just taking time to really understand how this grill works. So let's first start with the installation and setup. When you get this, the box is fairly large. I was actually able to fit it into an SUV. I bought it from a local retailer, but ultimately you can buy it online, have this sent to your house, and you can build it yourself. I recommend a second person helping you with the entire build. It took me about 2 hours with another person helping me assemble a lot of the parts. Overall, there's just a lot of screws and various components that you have to put together. But overall, it wasn't too bad. Everything was very straightforward, and the instructions were very clear and easy to follow. So once we had it all assembled, I went through the initial pre-seasoning steps. Basically, you have to run the grill as is to get it kind of ready to go for your first cook. And I've now since done our first cook on this, which was burgers, and they came out really nice. So I'm going to go through some of the functionality of the grill and how this works. Now, first off, with the 800 series, this comes with a griddle, and that's why I decided to go with this particular model. If you go with the 500 series, it does not come with the griddle, and essentially you have a smaller footprint in terms of what you could actually cook inside the actual space of the grill. If that's not a big deal to you, you don't need the griddle, you're not going to be cooking things like breakfast foods, eggs, bacon, things like that, then just go with the 500 series. If you're looking for something with a really large footprint and you do not need the griddle and you want more space, you're doing huge cookouts, barbecues, then go with the 1000 series, as you're going to have a lot more space inside. I decided to go with the 800 series because I really wanted the griddle, and I thought that this would be enough to still host fairly large parties if we were going to make, a lot of food, do like smoking, cookouts, things like that. This would be enough. Now, let's kind of go through some of the functionality of this, and just the overall setup of the grill. You have this front section here, which can actually be folded down, this tray that's in the front. You have a second tray here on the left. I actually left the original paperwork on here, so I'll show you some of that in a bit. And then you have on the side 3 areas here which you can hang accessories, things like that. I have my grill brush down here. You have on the front 4 different probes that you can connect for meat. It comes with one of them. It's a fairly long probe, as you can see, fairly easy to use. I was able to use this for our first cook, and it worked successfully. But if you want more of them for multiple meats, things like that you're cooking, you have that. In terms of functionality, you power this on, and it immediately gives you a LED kind of setup here. You can use this twist to kind of change different things from temperature to time. As you can see right now, it's telling me the temperature. I could set a time on the cook. I can set different temperature modes as well as what it is that I'm trying to get the temperature to. This does have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity, so you can use the MasterBuilt app. I'll see if I can pull that up here to the end of the video and maybe show you that a little bit. But the general idea is that we want to set our temperature. So if I was going to, say cook burgers, and I want to do a specific temp that I want the grill to get to, I can set it to 400, and then we're good to go. If we want to go higher, we want to do some searing, we could go all the way as high as 700. I believe. So 700 is the highest setting. And then if we wanted to do kind of low and slow cooking, maybe you're going to be smoking something like ribs or whatever it may be, you can actually go all the way down to 200, say like 250, 225, somewhere thereabouts for smoking your food. Now, and I'm going to power this off for now. In terms of the inside of the grill itself, you do have this nice temperature gauge here in the front. It kind of shows you smoke, barbecue, grill, and sear. And this will actually go up as the temperature rises. It just has a probe built in right inside here. This particular model, the 800 series, has the 2 top trays, so you have plenty of room for cooking various foods, and the actual grill grates are quite nice as well. You have a sear side, which is more of a flat side, and then the other side, I'll actually just take this out, has a smoking side. So this is designed for smoking specifically. So you can flip these as needed and then just put them back into their respective areas. Obviously, as you cook, you just, clean them off with the grill brush, pretty standard. Inside of this, you have this long, metal, almost like log. It's like a little cabin, if you will. And this is specifically designed, the one that's in here now, for grilling and things like that. But they actually have another one. I'll show you in the photo here. This is the one that I have in now. And this is more for, grilling, smoking. But then you also have one specific for the griddle. And this basically allows you to get most of the heat going up through this ventilation and then right onto the griddle itself. This does have the griddle pad, which as you can see here is quite heavy, very thick, large, and fairly easy to put in. It's pretty simple as just taking out those grill grates. Once those are removed, I just store it down here. You can see I have the specific griddle piece. So it is a little bit of a task to swap this out, but really not all that bad. If you're going to be cooking a lot of food, things like that, you have that option. I recommend maybe even storing this someplace else other than the grill. You can see here again, we have quite a bit of pollen that's built up in our area. So, I'd have to wash all of this before we obviously cook with it. Now, in terms of the charcoal aspect of this is what makes this whole grill really, really interesting and very cool. You have these two sliders that come out, and basically these are used to prevent airflow from the charcoal that's being fed into this hopper contraption. And you also have a fan that's down up in here. It's almost like a large computer fan, and this actually takes the heat from the charcoal and pushes it into the entire contraption, this large metal shroud that's inside. So it's very ingenious how they came up with this, but I was able to load this with charcoal. So you have a handle here, you can lift this up, and you can see here I've got this pretty much about 75% of the way full. It'll take one full bag of charcoal to fill this, so they designed it in a way that you can actually fill this entire thing with a single bag of charcoal. And there's also sensors all built into this. So if this is open while I've got the, grill on, it will actually shut off and stop the fan, stop the heat. So there's a lot of protections built into the grill, which I really like. You also have the lighting mechanism here. So this opens, and basically all you do is you got your ashtray down here, so you can see from doing a few cooks. We can pull this out, and here's my charcoal ash. Now, in terms of lighting, we basically have this slot that's up here. And MasterBuilt came up with these ideas to build like a log, and I'll actually grab them. I have them in the house here. You have these fire starters. So MasterBuilt built these little fire starters. It comes in a pack of 48. I'll just take these out here just to show you what they look like. And you basically have a cube here, and I can break them. They're already kind of sliced, so it's fairly easy to break them apart. You can see I'm actually doing it with one hand. And now I have a fire starter ready to go. So what I'd essentially do with this, so I'll come back outside, is I'd take my fire starter and I actually load it into this slot here. And I just put that here, and you can see it kind of just sits right under all the charcoal. And you just light this, that will light on fire, and then now the charcoal will ignite much easier. So it recommends you don't use any instant charcoal with this. I believe I'm using Kingsford, I think is the brand. And that seems to work pretty well. But one thing I will recommend is between your cooks, you just kind of shake this out and make sure there's no ash, otherwise it won't light. If there's any problems, like maybe the charcoal doesn't get lit during your initial setup, then obviously you could take all this, you could take the ash and kind of empty it, things like that, and it's easy enough to kind of troubleshoot based on different error codes that they'll provide to you. Beyond that, let me see if I can actually pull up the mobile app, and I can show you what that looks like. And I think that's about it with the grill. Overall, we haven't had a chance to do any smoking on this, but I can tell just from my initial findings and cooking, some grill food on this, it's going to work really well. Let me show you the app here. This is what it kind of looks like. So you can see I have the ability to connect to the device. I have recipes all built into the app. You have kind of a profile, so it has my name, and you can update the app, things like that. If I go in and connect to this, it will give you the ability to see the temperature rise. So if I was inside the kitchen and this is outside cooking, I can see if our set temp is good to go. Bring the food out and it's all good to, pretty much letting me know, hey, we're good. I can set times. I can see the temps on all the different probes. So they really did quite a good job with the actual app. So overall, I'm very, very happy with this grill. It has been a little bit, interesting kind of learning charcoal over utilizing something like gas. But this has been something that I think they designed a really ingenious strategy on how they came up with all this. When you're done with the cook, you simply slide these back in, and that kind of suffocates the airflow from the charcoal, and it will go out on its own. And then when you're ready for the next cook, you just empty the ash and you're good to go for another cook. Overall, really, really happy with the grill. I like what they've done with this, and I think this is going to be something we're going to use for many years to come. Anyway, thanks for watching the video review. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I'll talk to you later.